So I asked God to guide me through visions and dreams, and ultimately God gave me a vision and 3 dreams, which showed me that Christianity was the truth, that the gospel message was the true message. I wish I could go into the details, but we don't have time right now. So after doing all this studying first for years, it brought me to the altar of Christ, and then I started asking for dreams and visions, and he gave me dreams and visions, placing me right in the middle of a biblical parable I had never read. But you can't just convert. It's not, I mean, it's a very Western concept to just do what you think is right. Most of the world is not that individualistic. You do what is right socially. You think of the ramifications it's going to have for your family, for the people around you, what it looks like for your own reputation to do these things. If I were to become a Christian, that would mean that I was throwing my whole family under the bus. And so at that moment, I bowed my knee. I prayed to receive the Lord. It sounded very Muslim what I prayed. No one had told me about a sinner's prayer. But I prayed to receive the Lord. Intellectually in that moment, I assented to the gospel, but it didn't really hit me until a few days later, when my mom was standing in front of me. And if you had met her before that day, you would have seen a woman who had light in her eyes. She just loved to receive people. She welcomed people into her home, fed them till they were far beyond full, always gregarious, talkative. That was my mom. But it was like that day, I reached into her eyes and turned off that light. She's never been the same. And I saw somebody walking across the street. Very mundane thing to see. But for the first time in my life, I didn't just see somebody. It struck me that this was somebody God was willing to die for. Okay, that's very common for us when we say that as Christians. But can you imagine, from the perspective of a Muslim for just one moment, can you imagine the notion of God dying for someone? God who remains apart from this world as if behind a veil, that God who created this universe just by thinking it into existence, the God who is all-powerful, the creator of time and space, entered into it and suffered at the hands of his own creation.